All right, welcome everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Look, if you're trying to optimize your body composition, you probably spend a whole lot of time thinking about sets, reps, and hitting your macros, right? But what if I told you that the true foundation of your fitness results isn't actually built under those harsh, fluorescent lights at the gym, but rather in the pitch black of your bedroom? Okay, let's dive right into this, because today we are exploring the invisible workout, how your sleep literally shapes your body composition. It's time we completely dismantle the myth that more gym time automatically equals more results. We tend to view sleep as this passive state of just doing nothing, right? Kind of like a biological inconvenience that gets in the way of our hustle. But the science tells a very, very different story. Sleep is a highly active, mandatory physiological phase. It is the crucial period where your body actually adapts to the stress you've just put it through. Without it, your workouts, they're essentially just breaking you down.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. Number 1, the missing fitness link. Number 2, the architecture of sleep. 3, the hormonal tug-of-war. 4, sleep debt and fat loss. 5, the overnight muscle hack. And finally, number 6, optimizing your sleep routine. Let's get into it.
Section 1, the missing fitness link. From gym to recovery. Okay, so when you lift weights, you are causing muscle hypertrophy. You're challenging your muscles with way more resistance than they're used to, which creates these microscopic tears and significantly increases the rate of muscle protein breakdown. Think of it exactly like a bank account. The gym, that's where you make a withdrawal. You are breaking the tissue down and causing localized damage. You don't actually build a single ounce of muscle while you are lifting. Sleep is the deposit period. It's when cells from outside the muscle fibers rush to those tears, replicate, and fuse to form brand new, stronger muscle protein strands. Moving on to Section 2, the architecture of sleep, finding the deep cycle. Your sleep isn't just one long block. It's divided into these 90-minute cycles, where you're constantly moving through non-REM to REM phases. Stage 1 is your light sleep. Stage 2 makes up about 55% of your cycle, and that's where your brain waves start to slow down. But Stage 3, also known as slow wave sleep, now this is what we really care about here. Slow wave sleep is the absolute holy grail for physically restorative processes. During this phase, your brain activity drops, and blood supply to your muscles increases dramatically, delivering all the oxygen and nutrients necessary for intense muscle repair. And then finally, you hit REM, which is primarily for mental and cognitive restoration. Now, what is really wild here is this single number, 70%. That's right, 70% of your body's human growth hormone, or HGH, is secreted during that one brief Stage 3 deep sleep phase. This hormone is the absolute key to stimulating tissue growth and repairing those microscopic muscle tears we talked about. If you cut your sleep short and miss those final cycles of slow wave sleep, you are literally cutting off your body's primary supply of growth hormone. Just let that sink in for a second. Section 3, the hormonal tug-of-war, anabolism versus catabolism. Your body composition is largely dictated by this constant microscopic battle between two types of hormones. On one side, we have anabolic hormones like growth hormone and testosterone. These are your builders. They promote muscle growth and tissue repair. On the flip side, we have catabolic hormones, primarily cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it's designed to break down tissue, and yes, that includes your hard-earned muscle tissue, to give your body rapid energy to deal with stress. And here's the kicker. Sleep dictates which side wins this daily tug-of-war. And here is the dramatic plot twist. Cutting your sleep short literally cannibalizes your gains. Research shows that sleeping around 5 hours or less can plunge your testosterone by 10 to 15%. At the exact same time, complete sleep deprivation or restriction can skyrocket your muscle-wasting cortisol levels by up to a massive 45% the following evening. Think about what that means. You are actively suppressing the hormones that build you up and turbocharging the hormones that break you down.
Which brings us to Section 4, sleep debt and fat loss, the metabolic cost.
Okay, so losing fat fundamentally requires a caloric deficit, right? We all know that. But sleep deprivation throws a massive wrench into the whole calories in, calories out equation by directly attacking your appetite regulators. Meet ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is the hormone that makes you feel hungry, while leptin is the hormone that signals fullness, telling you to put the fork down. When you don't sleep enough, your ghrelin levels spike and your leptin levels absolutely plummet. You are literally tricking your brain into thinking it is starving. Crazy, right? So the crucial takeaway here is that this hormonal imbalance translates directly into your behavior. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that sleep-deprived individuals don't necessarily sit down and eat larger meals, but their cravings drive them to consume way more snacks, specifically in that danger zone between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. This leads to an average intake of an extra 220 calories daily. That seemingly small, completely subconscious shift effortlessly sabotages a hard-earned 500-calorie daily deficit. Poof, gone.
I know, it actually gets worse on the calories outside, too. Sleep deprivation can plummet your resting metabolic rate by up to 20% the very next day. So not only are you hungrier and eating more, but your body is drastically lowering its overall calorie burn, and you'll even find yourself subconsciously fidgeting less and choosing lower intensity workouts because you're just so drained. It's a double whammy for fat gain.
Section 5. The Overnight Muscle Hack. Protein and Timing.
Now let's look at a truly fascinating study by Jorn Trumelin and his colleagues. This timeline lays out their exact parameters. They took a group of young men and had them do a grueling 60-minute evening leg workout between 7:45 p.m. and 8:45 p.m. Then, right before going to sleep at midnight, the subjects consumed 30 grams of intrinsically labeled casein protein. The researchers really wanted to see if combining that evening exercise with late-night protein could actually boost overnight muscle synthesis.
Using special isotope trackers, they tracked exactly where that protein went. And they found that consuming 30 grams of casein right before bed doesn't just sit heavily in your stomach. No, the body effectively digests it, resulting in about 57% of those dietary amino acids entering the systemic circulation while the subjects were completely unconscious. It steadily floods your system with the exact building blocks you need for recovery right during that critical slow-wave sleep window. And this chart right here brilliantly illustrates the study's conclusion. Just look at the massive jump in that black bar. By pairing evening exercise with pre-sleep protein, the subjects experienced a staggering 37% increase in myofibrillar protein synthesis compared to those who only took the protein without exercising. The prior resistance exercise actually increased the efficiency with which the pre-sleep protein was directed right into building brand new de novo muscle tissue overnight. That is a real game changer. Finally, Section 6, Optimizing Your Sleep Routine. Actionable takeaways. So if you want to protect the first half of your night, which remember is where the vast majority of your muscle-building slow-wave sleep actually occurs, here are some key actionable insights from Oura. First, eat fiber-rich foods. Diets high in whole grains and greens are directly linked to deeper, more restorative rest. Second, avoid alcohol before bed. I know, it might make you feel drowsy, but your body actually gets stuck in light sleep while it processes the alcohol, totally destroying your deep sleep phases. And finally, try using sleep meditations to quiet your mind and transition efficiently from the stress of the day right into recovery mode. Look, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Every single time your head hits the pillow tonight, you have a choice in how you've set up your body's internal environment. The science we've looked at today is incredibly clear. Sleep isn't just rest. It's the ultimate fitness tool. It's regulating your hormones, it's dictating your fat loss, and literally rebuilding your muscle tissue while you dream. So, tonight, will you just sleep or will you recover and grow? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and I'll see you all next time.